Are they all started?
Yep.
Yeah. Hey guys, we're a little late. Technical problems.
Mostly just human problems.
Yeah.
But
Hello.
hey guys,
Hey Jessica.
going over some fire magic fun. Not just candles, because we just covered candles. Well,
Yeah.
we covered 7-day last week, but more fun to be had.
You guys have any questions in the meantime while we wait a couple minutes to let all of the social media know that, like, hey, we're live? Because sometimes there is a lag. And we get started talking and people are asking if we can back up. But fire magic, really fun. It's one of my favorite. Thanks, Nikki. I'll go change that here in a second. Sometimes Twitch doesn't update the title until after we get the live started, which is sometimes annoying. Thank you for the lives. Thank you. And if anybody has any questions in the meantime, we're getting ready to get started. Or techniques that work well for you and you feel like sharing, drop them in chat. I'm going to go over some. Thank you, Stacy. She's like, miss my favorite store. Did you move? Do we need to mail you things? We can do that. We harass our mailman daily. But he likes it though, so it's okay. Hi, Marcia. But yeah, we'll go over some things. We're going to light some Florida water on fire because why not? Really, hey, Raven. Mission. I'm in Akron. Oh, okay. Well, we can always meet you halfway or do some running around. Like I just drove through there this past weekend coming up from a show. So I have done product handoffs in parking lots. Hey, Karen. So yeah, we'll get started. We're going to flamboyant some stuff and show some things. And we could have brought like the whole herb display because you can use all herbs in fire magic, but that would just be a little overwhelming. And I'm quite frankly lazy. I don't want to put it all away when we're done. Yeah, message me. We can always meet up and get you what you need. No problem there. But yeah, fire is really great in transmutation. So it helps take that intention and transmutes it or transforms it into something. So it goes off into smoke and air and that chemical change that happens. So there's even like a little bit of science behind why the magic works in different ways to do that. Which you don't need to get too involved in that and overthink it and make it too hard to do. It just happens. It just does it all on its own. But I need to go change the title on Twitch. Twitch says psychic readings, which was last night. Oh no.
We did that last night. We flipped cards and we told people about themselves, right, Karen? She's like, I want to get roasted by Melissa. And I'm like, bet.
Don't even need the cards
Right.
for those.
I'm like, are you sure? So the first Wednesday of the month, we do free readings for funsies on Twitch, starting at 7. So that's why the title's wrong on Twitch. I'm going to go fix that. So if you want to get started, I'm going to go fix that real quick and try to get that incense burner, but I'll bring the laptop in here to get it live. So we have items available on the live for TikTok. Mm-hmm. So just about everything on the table is available in the TikTok shop as we go over it. For our other friends, they are available on our website. So I will be right back.
Yeah. So, okay. So, I'm gonna be honest. I don't practice a whole lot of fire magic, mostly because I'm scared of it. But I think we all know, and we don't have them here. But the burning of bay leaves, which is super popular, where you write your intention onto a bay leaf, whether it be patience or love, etc., right? So what that does is you light it over a candle or a spell, however you're planning on doing that, and it's releasing that intention out into the universe, so that it can become like a manifestation in a way. Should I forget about Greg? What do you mean?
I don't know. I mean, I don't think I would put myself on the same caliber as Greg. Though I am glad we nailed down that death doula.
You said, should I leave him alone?
We may
Greg, what's happening, Michelle? What's going on? So that's like small ways that you're doing fire magic that you don't quite maybe understand that you're actually doing fire magic. Same thing with lighting, like parchment paper on fire. You'll write down, one of the ways that people let things go, especially during like full moons and new moons. You don't know. It's like off and on. So the way that people will release things out into the universe. So releasing that like negative ways of thinking about yourself, and what people end up doing is they will or Instagram, what are you doing over there? Will end up, oh no, we have green candles for fire magic.
And pink. I just
Yeah. Yeah. So we have them. But that's ways that you might be doing fire magic that you don't quite know. Oh, I am doing fire magic. I'm not allowed around fire. I can't be trusted.
I mean, I've had a couple employees that weren't allowed to help snuff out candles or light them because they damn near set themselves on fire.
I decided to be dumb one day. Actually, just recently. I was at home and I was what I do is when a spell that I have underneath a 7-day candle or a spell candle is officially done and over with, I like to take that paper, put it in a cauldron, and burn it and release it out into the universe. It's done its job. This is me basically saying thank you, here you go, and releasing that out. And I decided I was going to hold my cauldron in my hand. Why I decided to do this, I don't know. But held it in my hand and I put more Florida water into it as I was holding it. Don't ask me why, but I did. And so as I'm holding the handle of this cauldron, it's like singeing my knuckles. I don't know.
Maybe we need to go into fire safety.
Fire safety. But going into Florida water, since I talked about singeing my fingers off, Florida water is high in alcohol, so it's actually very flammable and very good to use in fire magic. It's better than dumping gasoline or kerosene on your, very intricate spell work. So it will burn until the alcohol is burned away. So ways that we can do that. You want me to do this? I feel like I trust you more.
Did you?
She said I do too. Oh,
There's already some in there.
Is there some? Oh,
Yeah.
See, guys, I don't know if I should do this.
Don't burn down the place.
You know what? Hi, Josh. How are
Do
you?
I need to come light it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Could you also explain why you would do this?
why you would use Florida water in a
Yeah.
So in our much loved and used bowl is some Florida water here. Why I use it? Sometimes you've got that charcoal brick that just will not light. Put a little bit of Florida water on there. Or if you have a bunch of papers, petitions, that Florida water is going to help make sure. So you're not standing outside relighting matches, trying to keep relighting.
Mm-hmm.
And Florida water is very flammable, so hopefully that shows up on
It
screen.
does.
So a word of advice, as you can see, it can be kind of clear sometimes. So always make sure it is done burning before you go to pick it up. Don't do what Sierra did.
Yes, please.
So I use this a lot in my shaman practice, not only for cleansing, myself and my mesa and my misha, but when I have to disperse a despacho that tends to be wrapped up in there. It's very frustrating sometimes trying to get that thing to light. So you know what? We're going to add a little Florida water and make it light, and still be appreciative of it burning, of it doing its magic. Florida water is great for sanctifying and cleansing. So you're not altering too much what you are burning. So you're just kind of giving a little added oomph to it. You're helping make sure it stays lit, that you can actually light it. Always use fire safe containers, holders.
Yes.
Brass, cast iron, metals. Make sure though that if it's on a table, put a pot holder, put something between that pot and your table,
Yeah.
which is why I sat it on here.
Something that has legs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't use glass unless you know it's tempered, because it can get really hot. I haven't found ceramic to do too well with it, so just make sure it's heat proof. It's tempered for high temperatures for burning. But a little bit goes a long way. I only poured out that much to be able to show you and get a big enough flame to show you. And always use one of these guys. Give yourself some distance between the flame that's getting ready to happen and your hand, because it lights real quick once that flame hits that alcohol that's in the Florida water. So, yeah. And a fun thing you can do when it was burning, and I should have thought to do this before I blew it out, fire scrying.
Yeah.
Use that to watch the flames, ask your questions, what you need to know, see if you get images in the flames. Or use paper or like little index cards, which this works best with candles, where you get the little burn marks as you run that paper over the flame and you see, don't let it catch completely on fire now, but you read the images, kind of like tea leaf scrying, but on paper with flame. So that is another thing you can do with fire and flame.
Yeah. Even just like, you know how bonfires, and you'll just stare at the fire. I think that was my first instance I ever had with fire scrying, where you don't even know it's happening. You see things in the flames, whether it be animals, figures, etc. That is fire scrying. It's kind of like how the best way to describe it is, you know, like when you look up at clouds and you see images in the clouds, it's that, but while looking into a flame.
Yeah, I think some people don't even realize that that's what they're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a way of divination.
Let's see what we got here. So talking about the paper, parchment paper. These are the ones that you can light in a obviously a fire safe container, cauldron, etc., etc. We have small ones and big ones available, both of which are $3. $3 holla. TikTok, you have access to a majority of everything that we have on the table. It will be in the shop. Everybody else will be, most of it will be on the website, if not all of it. Or you can hop over to TikTok if you want to purchase anything. Or you can also purchase through us. So if there is anything that you want, that you're interested in, things that you want to know, thank you for the follow. Things that you want to know more about. We also use this time as like an educational hour. I don't know a whole lot about fire magic. So that's why I'm over here like, Melissa. I know only certain things. So this is something that even I, need more knowledge on. I know there's a lot of different ways to do it. I know we talked a lot about 7-day candles last week. Just candle magic in general is a very powerful way of performing spells and just magic in general. And it is considered not only candle magic, but fire magic. And there's a bunch of different ways to do that. There's whole books on it here. So this one's just very pretty. It's a hardback. Wow, here we go. Sorry, guys. Over here, making sure everybody can see. This gives the basics on candle magic. So we've got how to even make candles, the best time, like the moon cycles is the best time to do a candle spell, different candles, colors for different days, talks about channeling the flames, etc., etc. There's a lot of really cool information here, and it's really easy to read. It also comes with pictures. I love pictures. So here is they have a diagram of the Come to Me candle spell, how it moves, what it's supposed to look like. So I think that's really neat. Talks about what to do now that your spell is over. Now what? What do you expect? I think people think that once the candle or the fire magic is over, then that's it. No, it takes time, just like how normal spells do, to come to fruition. So it could be a couple days to even a week after, your candle spell or your fire magic that you see any sort of move in the right direction as to what you wanted. So just because the candle is done or the quote unquote spell is over does not mean that it's not working or that it's done working. We've also got this one. This one is about spells and rituals for an abundant life. Doesn't come with the pictures. However, it does have a lot of also cool information. Even goes into astrology and candle magic. Again, this one talks about the potency of the moon. The audio on TikTok is much better. On IG, y'all sounded a little strange. Oh no. Sorry, IG. And these do come with recipes for the spells. So you're not just going into it blindsided. So there's this one here. Again, also available on TikTok as well, I believe. Is it on website?
It is.
Okay.
It absolutely is.
Awesome. So for those of you who are interested, the best thing you can do before you start any of this is to get a little bit of knowledge on it. What do we got going on? Can you please talk about the best ways to dress candles for safety? Asking for a friend. So how we actually talked a little bit about this last week. Thank you for the follow. You can, and the reason why I say this is because I've done it a terrible way.
Do you want to go over what not to do first?
Yeah, so if you are dressing a candle, here's what not to do, and I'm putting not in big capital letters. The herbs that you think are cut up in tiny pieces are usually not. You do not want to overcrowd the candle, especially like a 7-day candle with an abundance of herbs. With candles, a small amount of herbs goes a long way. You don't need a ton of herbs to get that, that intuition in there, manifestation in there. I can't speak. And I say that every single live. So what you can do instead is kind of use a crush up your herbs, make them into like a finer powder, and put the herbs to the outside of the glass. This is for 7-day candles. To the outside of the glass. If you want to put them inside, you put them to the outer rim. And then you could also put them on the outside of the glass. So you could line the glass with some oil, something to make it stick, and then roll the glass in that herb.
Yeah, so get some wax paper. Lay the wax paper down, grind your herbs up. Coffee grinders are great, mortar and pestle's great. So put your oil down, put your herbs down, kind of mix it together, roll your candle on it. That would be the same thing with those 6-inch tapers. But keep in mind, like even with the 6-inch tapers, You don't want to coat it so bad that you're going to snuff out your flame or create a fire hazard. So the finer the grind, the better. And just keep an eye. Never leave a candle burning unattended, especially when you got a bunch of stuff on it and going.
Yeah. I know a ton of people say, you know, not to blow it out, but like we also live in a day and age where things and accidents happen. I've heard some people won't even blow it out, but they'll put it in their bathtub while they're gone.
With a little bit of water.
Yes.
In there,
So if anything were to break, it will completely just go out in the tub. So if that's something you want to do, that's also a way to do things. We have a question as to how long does it need to take to repeat process? Is it just depending on the intentions?
So it kind of depends. So like if you're doing a 7-day and when the candle's done and there's a bunch of black soot all over the place, and this is not from overdressing your candle. If you got a bunch of black soot, it's been working through, you've got some blockages, you've got things hindering, do it again. Just as you're working, and you should get a feel. So like if you're doing employment and you've got a lot of interviews and things like that as your candle is working, you may not need to do it right away because you have all these interviews and opportunities. So, but if you've got a candle that is constantly going out, that is, you know, just giving you issues, then redo and do again. But also make sure, don't have your candle underneath your air conditioning vent. Don't have it in front of a window. You're kind of making your own work harder, as well as creating a hazard. Space away from cats who like to investigate and catch whiskers and tails and maybe paws on fire. Away from doggos who might bump tables and knock things over. So, you know, be smart about where you put them. I lost my train of thought.
But yeah, that's good. Yeah. For example, I had a candle that I was using to cleanse the bedroom of my home, and it had no dressings or anything in it, and I actually stopped burning it because it was entirely black. Like I was like, okay, all right, we're gonna restart this and do this again. So it was that's like definitely an indication as to having to redo it. The clearer the candle, as far as 7 days go, the better. You want to be able to look at the glass and hopefully not see any soot marks or a lot of remaining wax. What do I got here? Oh, you said, oh, the flame in the mini cauldron. Talk about this guy when we set him on fire. Guess what you were talking about.
I feel like we need Fire Marshal Bill for those of us that are old enough to know who he was from The Living Color. Jim Carrey's first noticeable characters at Cinema. Let me tell you something.
Let me tell you something. So this guy right here, a little mini candle cauldron. Wow, cannot speak today. This guy is really good for if you wanted to burn loose incense and again, we have these little charcoal burners. Charcoal you would put into the little mini cauldron. You need to find you a cauldron simmer pot, like a big boy. I love y'all even more now. Let me tell you something.
I watched maybe the only one old enough to know who that character was. I missed that show.
Fire Marshal Bill. We have other cauldrons other than this one here. So if you guys are interested in seeing cauldrons, we can bring them up. But this one I know is on the TikTok shop. But this one would be used to burn loose incense. It's got a perfect little indentation for a charcoal disc. And you would put the charcoal disc in there with your loose incense and light it that way. These tend to get really smoky compared to an incense stick. So be prepared for lots of smoke. And they burn for a little bit. So This is also a really good way of going about cleansing your house. Instead of taking an incense stick and wafting it around, you end up, you could have like loose particles that hit the floor, which again, fire safety. You do not want the loose particles of incense hitting the ground and your carpet, all that fun stuff, and then catching a fire. So this, it stays contained in here. You would definitely want to keep something to keep it away from your hands, because that little charcoal disc is going to get hot. And you could take it around to a room and let the room kind of smoke it up that way. Smoke scrying is also a thing. You need fire for that to happen.
Do you? What?
You do.
Since when?
So you can read smoke like how you could read flames, and just light an incense, and be able to read that way. This guy is available for $22. It's really cute. He's got some moon phases on the front, and he is perfect for that cleansing of a room with like loose powder incense.
They get some of the powder incense to sync over to TikTok, but they are on the website. One of the things you can do with the self-lighting incense is to draw out sigils with it, write out names or intentions before lighting it. So if you're a crafty sort and you like prettiness, you can always make designs with it, but you would want to lay those out probably on like an old cookie sheet, that is metal that can handle that. Put some little paper, actually no, put nothing between it. Incense right on that sheet. Make your pretty designs and light it. Light it on fire.
We were told to do your Goonies voice.
Goonies voice.
Yeah.
I didn't know I had one.
Well, Kay Sweeney says you do.
There you go.
Medium, you have a big boy. It's a tad excessive. Oh, for your simmer pot, you gotta find one bigger than the one. Oh, I don't know if we have any bigger than the one you gave me. Oh, he said chunk. As far as fire magic goes, do we have any questions? Any more questions? Candles, as far as colors, signify different things.
Yes.
So for anyone who is curious about that, we have the answers to that. There's a lot of colors.
So white and black are kind of like your easy go-to. If you have no other colors, you can use them. Black tends to be more protection, keeping things secret. It is not evil. Don't listen to other people who are like, oh my God, don't use it, it's bad. No, it's not. So why would you want to keep something secret? Maybe you're in one job and you're like, I am sick of this place. I'm putting a resume together and I need to manifest something. So you would use a black candle to help bring that in, with like a gold or a brown candle to help keep that secret from people who don't need to know that you're looking for a different position. Or any creative ideas maybe. Maybe you're around unsupportive people of you wanting to be a writer. Maybe you want to be a stand-up comedian and your mom's like, that sucks, go be an accountant. To hide those things that you might be working on. Pink's great for love, so is green. Green can also be money. The growth of things, brown, grounding. In some instances, some people like to use brown in prosperity work to help ground and center that intention down into the physical plane. What else do we have? Oranges and yellows are also good for creativity, energy. Yellow is like study, the mind, wisdom. What else do we
were
have?
asked about gold and silver.
Oh, so right off the bat, the sun and the moon, male and female energies, bringing things in, gold for the prosperity. But a lot of people will use those on their altars for representation of masculine, feminine, or sun and moon. These ones are metallic, so those little guys are like $2 because the metallic on them. Purple, the way I have learned it and was trained, purple's an expansion color, and it is for riches and wealth as well. Way back in the day, only the wealthy could afford the color purple in clothing because it was so hard to make. So when I do abundance workings, and if you're local and you see our prosperity candles, there's a purple one right next to the money draw to expand the working of the money draw. Was that all the color? Okay, all that blue. Communication, throat chakra. Now the colors of the candles can also coincide with your chakras as well. So the communication, healing. I know some places will use yellow for healing. Blue. Blue always works better for me in that healing. It's calming. Purple and blue, especially together, for healing of kind of like that anxious working and feeling. Red can also be used to do away with, to move things away, to burn things away. So red and orange together works really well that way as well.
Yes, Sam, you can do it with a bonfire as far as fire magic goes. You can scry, you can meditate, and just feel like almost like the energy of a fire. Everyone sat by a really, really big bonfire. And, that's why everyone, gathers there. It's a nice feeling. It's where conversations happen. A lot happens around a big old bonfire. And I feel like there's a lot more opportunity to see some really cool visions, pictures in that bonfire. So definitely can do it with a bonfire.
Yes. I'm surprised it's still allowing me to add things to the live clickable, shoppable thing. No, any other time it's like, nope, you're already live.
You're already
Denied.
live.
Maybe they feel bad because they tried to ding us on something that was already sent out.
Tommy said sacrifice. No, not sacrifice. I mean, you know what? I'm not here to judge what you do.
Do you need an alibi?
Yeah.
You were here with us the whole time.
She would never. Trying to think of other things.
Yeah, if we have any other questions, safe space, nothing's a dumb thing to ask.
Yeah.
And if we don't know, we'll find out for you.
I can't stand you.
What she said.
I would never.
But you know what, Zach?
Zach. Maybe.
I feel like you are on the wrong side of our live right now, sir.
On the wrong side of Instagram. I'm not going to say anything. I need to behave. I was going to say,
Don't get us banned.
I was going to say, there's different sizes. Take that as you will. We were at the apple orchard the entire time, Sam. We would never do that.
No, we were at a book festival is where we were.
Yeah. That's a good alibi.
Believable. Did we go over the incense matches yet?
No, we didn't.
Okay. So, not only to possibly cover really bad smells, incense matches burn like a regular match, but they are scented. So if you want to add those scents to it, you can. Now, unfortunately, most of these don't tell you ahead of time. You have to like sniff them, but match it, to your intention. Or keep them in the bathroom to nothing happened here.
Yeah.
And toss it out.
I know. I've never used those. Do they smell for a while or?
Not for very long.
Okay.
They're kind of like a short, quick, snappy. So, to light your candle, one thing, like add that scent as you light your candle, put it out. So instead of just using a regular match or lighter, have a little more like purpose behind it.
I like that.
I know some people prefer matches over lighters because it feels more natural. You got wood, you've got, natural flammable things instead of like, this. I have no problem using this myself.
Yeah, there is some people like to have like all of the elements near them. So if you have a match, you've got wood, you've got fire. If you have water near you, it's like, it's putting all of the elements together. And some people like having that, which is why I could see that people like to use like a wooden match. I use wooden matches for like special things. I don't really use that. I'll light stuff with a lighter every day, but on things that I want to feel like I put a little bit more heart and soul into, I'll use a wooden match. And listen, not the 7 knob candles.
Don't go to work.
Doing this on work hours.
Hey, Lonnie. Sure, absolutely. There's a few other books as well that when you're ready, we can help show you. We just didn't want to overload the table and make it feel like it's only about books or it's only about candles. One thing I thought was kind of interesting, little burners like these, get creative. It'll hold a charcoal briquette. You can put powdered incense in here, cone incense. There's no holes for stick. But in your intention working, these are planetary symbols. Put a little crystal that coincides with your spell working on the planet that you need or planets, and make that work. So get creative, get artsy. Spell working really is kind of like cooking and art. There's no wrong way to do anything other than completely using the wrong type of ingredients. If you're doing love, you're going to use rose petals. You probably wouldn't use like vervain. It's going to be a harder process. Oh my God, the face you're making. Don't be
So
yelling.
Melissa can put her 7,000 rings in it like a jewelry dish.
You know what? That too. It's not 7,000.
Sam said if they're really
It's 10.
pissing you off, get the blowtorch. It's 10.
Zach, get it right.
Get the blowtorch, yeah.
And let's face it, they just didn't have lighters way back when. That's why they used matches.
Yeah. It's okay. We have technology now. You can use a lighter.
Coffee grinders are okay if you can't mortar and pestle it.
Yeah. Sometimes mortar and pestle will never get it to that powdery form that you want anyway. Just put it in a blender.
Yeah.
Just set the intention. That's what a lot of it comes down to.
That smells like a fingernail on fire asking for a
Oh, you're
buddy.
talking about me. It's
Is
because there's been many a time where I'm lighting a candle.
that you too?
Yes.
Is that you too? Oh my God.
Yep. While I'm gaming or getting ready to game, and I've lit because my fingernails are long, guys. So, I have definitely burnt the tip of a fingernail.
The smell of burning fingernails.
Yes, the smell of burning acrylic nail is so plastic. Ultimately, nope. Lighters existed before matches, believe it or not. Listen, so now you want to be then tell the class. The sulfur mixture for matches kept exploding during their invention.
Really?
Interesting. Tell me more.
Okay, so go rub some sticks together, Zach.
Yeah. Take the 2 rocks and make a spark with them.
She's like, I wasn't gonna say who.
I know who you're talking about.
But if you have any more questions, let us know. We are gonna be hopping off here soonish.
Reiki class coming in.
Yeah.
And we're not quiet.
No, not at all.
So it's kind of hard to get attunements in practice when you got us
And
goofing
then
off.
Zach,
And then Instigator Zach over on Instagram.
get 2 quarts and make sparks. That's what you need to do to light your candle.
What about gold and silver? I always. Yeah. Okay. We covered.
We covered
Thanks, Dee.
the gold and silver.
If you didn't already know, if you weren't with us last week, the fun thing with these guys, you can carve into the wax. So put your intention in there. And what you might want to carve with, you ask, you can get, now you can go to Joann's and Michael's and all this fun stuff and get candle carving tools. Better yet, go to Walmart and go into the wood aisle
and get they're the same damn things, except they have a more rough looking pack and they're like $5 versus $20. Or
Grab a
bobby
toothpick.
pin, toothpick. I'm like, what have I used? Paper clip that I've unbent. Depending on your working, a rusty nail. Whatever will carve into wax. Just use the appropriate tool for whatever you're working on. Don't use the rusty nail if you're trying to manifest love.
We will be on tomorrow for a informational on Beltane. That'll be at 1:30.
And then next week's live on Thursday is going to be over coffee and tea magic. So get ready, my favorite. And then the week after that, we're going to go over snakes because we got some cool new snake stuff.
Yeah. So, you have any friends that are snake people 2 weeks from now? If you are a tea or coffee person next week. Oh my God. I'm overzacked right now.
Stop it.
Yeah, coffee and tea will be next week. Paperclip, yes. I've definitely used a paper. I've used the tip of a pencil.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have to.
Yeah.
Pens can get a little weird depending on if it's a roller ball. And,
Yeah, and then you're messing up your pen. It's all coated with wax and
get creative.
Yeah.
But fire magic, great for the transformation of that attention and sending it out, and it's like that spark that helps get that spell work going.
Mm-hmm.
Spark of creation.
Yeah.
Which is why it's my favorite. But I know people who love doing other types, and it works really well for them. No way is wrong, unless you're Zach.
What else was I going to say? Oh, also with the light of a flame is very cleansing. That's another thing too. Is when I'm doing spell work, I will usually always light a white candle, and not even necessarily because of the actual color of the candle, but because I want to invite light in while I am doing this work. I'll usually light a black and white one. So yeah, that's also something you can do. So you can light candles as you're doing spell candles. Just lots of fire happening. I can't with you, Zach. Get out of here. First off, the pinky finger. Zach said, pee on your candles for domination or for potency.
I mean, you're not wrong.
You're not.
You're not wrong. But I mean, we got newbies. We don't want to scare them away.
Yeah.
Tone it down. Says the Buddhist.
Yeah, talking about I can't even say it. I could probably say it. Coke nails.
Yeah.
I'm rarely wrong. Okay. D
sister say
said D said, oh my God. Never a dull moment. Usually you're very he said, okay, all right, because I do be conjuring.
He does. Zach is one of the few people who will do spell work for hire.
Oh, good
And he's
to
good at what he
know.
does. But Zach, unless I'm wrong and you changed your mind, you were on hiatus, which is why I don't send people over to you.
Dee said she would end up going on herself.
Just sounds like a messy situation. But you gotta do what you gotta do.
I mean, I may or may not have coached a young person in some spell workings that involved urine from a bully. Did it stop? Yes, it did. Was there some karma back for that bully? Yes, it was.
Don't shake Zach's hand.
No.
You're
do not.
mostly still on hiatus. Maybe you shouldn't be anymore.
Yeah, you can do just the tip. Just the
tip,
of the pencil. Follow the sentence through. Just
What's that conjuring on Instagram?
Trouble.
Everything.
trouble. Just trouble. Zach is that younger brother I never wanted that adopted himself into my circle. We show love to one another by bullying.
This is real conversations that he and I have, and now that he's forcing Sierra into.
I know. Now I'm over here like, oh, these are my types of people. We our plan is to make each other cry at some point. Pee or bleed on everything. It helps.
Oh my God.
my Zach.
No more.
Anyway, so
permission from you. For
So yeah, over here like fire magic. Zach's like, you ever just thought about
Now,
every?
now that being said, the store has a podcast called Box Wine and Witchcraft, and Zach has been on many of those episodes with us and for me. And there is an episode on using bodily fluids correctly, in spell work. So if you are somebody who likes listening to the podcast, you can go check that out. It's on everything. Apple, Amazon, Spotify. One of them just took down their podcasting. But anywhere that podcasts are up, like we're there. So you can find it. It's free to listen to. There's no paywall. And apparently we're going to get back into it because now I'm getting notified from indie podcast charts that like this podcast that we've done nothing with for almost close to a year is now ranking. Like, why now? So we are looking at putting that together and coming up with topics and doing there. But Zach is a wealth of information. But yes, there is info to be had there. So, but if you guys have any other questions, otherwise we're gonna get we will get going. So the Reiki people who are waiting patiently can have some quiet and peace and non-shenanigans in their learning time.
Yeah. So if anyone is thinking about ordering anything that we have up here, TikTok, you can grab it. Also, everything on our website is available, or everything here is available on our website. I said that backwards. So if there is something that you are like, you know what, I do kind of want to try that out, it will be up there. So
yeah. Well, good night, everybody. And Zero is like my little witch, or my little sister is like, cross my toes, they're witches. I don't even think tinfoil can help you there.
No.
Just go for their fingers next. I don't know.
don't give them ideas.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for hanging in with our shenanigans. We'll see you next week for coffee and tea. What the hell? Do not put the candles. Oh my God. All right.
All right.
We're shutting Zach off. Bye, guys.